Hey everybody, and welcome to the call. We're getting everybody rolling in. Good to see you all. Thanks for showing up this evening. I was actually just getting the chat online for everybody who's coming in. Say hello, give me a hi, holler back. Hey, give me a holler back. Hope you all are doing good tonight. I was actually just about to click live on the StreamYard as well and play that out into the group so we can have some fun with everybody else when they show up. Let's see here. I'm gonna do that while we're getting going over here, getting everything started off. Hope you all are doing great, having a good evening. Yeah, glad to have time with you guys tonight. Thank you for sharing your time with me as well. We're gonna go over a number of things tonight because it is a very interesting day. So let me fire up the StreamYard live stream. We're going to go live to different places. Hey guys, we're live tonight on ASINinspector.com. Get ASINinspector.com as well. We are over here hanging out. Say howdy, everybody. We're streaming live into the group here and into YouTube as well as on my Zoom with my Thursday night call. This is Thursday Night Live as part of GetASINinspector.com and the ASIN Inspector Pro tool. We give out some free information every Thursday night live where we talk about product research, sourcing, what's happening in the world of Amazon, what are we experiencing, and what are we seeing in our network too, because we talk to people all the time, and I'll bring you up to speed on some of that. If you guys are in the group and you're not a part of ASIN Inspector Pro, then you might want to consider it. That's one of the things we're talking about tonight. We're also going to talk a little bit about what's happening with the world of Amazon, because it is fascinating. For those of you paying attention, you should know that Jeff Bezos is going back to work. So if Jeff Bezos is going back to work, then everybody should be going back to work, right? Because as it turns out, he's being called back to the front lines. This ought to get interesting. So if you guys didn't get that news today, let's pull this back up a little higher. Jeff Bezos taking the wheel again back on Amazon, reportedly joining the call to help make decisions related to inventory and coronavirus. So a lot of things are happening right now. It's a very fascinating time. So they apparently wanted to pull him back in because, well, they may need some help. So they got to figure some of this stuff out. If you guys are not aware of what's happening, of course, we have this little pandemic thing happening in the world here, which is kind of locking up some operations. For those of us who are sellers, in some capacity, it's affecting some of us, and in other capacities, it's not. Like sales for us in the accounts are up over 50%. For other people's, that's not happening. And other people, accounts are getting shut down. Talked to a good buddy of mine today who is an 8-figure seller. He does over $10 million a year on Amazon. We were strategizing. He was asking me some questions. I was talking with him as well, as we occasionally do. And he was just telling me about the strategies he's working through right now to stay on top of the game, because it isn't just that he's got trouble with his particular products in the seller capacity, because he has a few that are considered non-essential. He's sitting on about $7 million worth of inventory across Amazon. So he was strategizing with us about what to do with some of that inventory, or what he's considering and what he's seeing and what he thinks, we think might happen and that kind of stuff. And just a really good call to be insightful and talk with him about it. But they're moving about 1,500 units plus a day across some really great products. And his team is just cranking hard, right? They're glad to be working, and he's glad to be working with them. But we were talking about, what's going to happen here soon with Amazon, right? What's going to happen when they start to open up they're non-essential? How are they going to deal with this coming potential reopening, right, in around the 12th or the 15th? I'm hearing rumors. I've heard a couple of different things. I don't think there's any particular locked in date just yet, but how are they going to address, sales account? How are they going to address a seller account that's moving inventory, but maybe a little bit lagging due to certain restrictions? I know they're not supposed to be shutting down accounts or penalizing them for late sales deliveries right now. That's one of the things they did announce. A seller newsletter came out here just a little bit ago. Let me just talk to you through some of this in case you weren't familiar with what's going on. Thanks for joining on the live, guys. Hello, we're going to shut this off in just a minute. I just wanted to say hi to you all out there in the YouTube and Facebook world. We are live on Thursday night with ASIN Inspector. This is part of the Academy. We just go through live and we do product research and we evaluate the market. We talk about trends. We talk about strategies. It's all free as part of the software tool, just a little added value benefit. So if you guys want to join us anytime live on Thursday night, come on in, grab the software. You can get the discount in the link below. I'm going to shut off the broadcast to the group, but you guys are on Zoom. You're going to hang out with me for a little bit longer. I'll see you, the rest of you guys a little bit later on some more additional live training we're going to be doing inside the free Amazon Sellers Group. I will see you guys in just a little bit. All right. So that is over. Everybody gets their little fun. All right, back to the real nitty gritty, guys. We're going to let this ride. So if you're all still with me, give me a shout out, say hello, say hi, talk about what's going on. I'm looking over here. I see your notes coming in. All right. Hey, Connie, Talar, Richard, Rebecca, GB. Hey, guys, how you doing tonight? Hopefully you are doing great. Hopefully you are in product research mode. You're in sellers mode. I see a number of names I don't recognize. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys. Neil Twa, CEO of ASINinspector.com, ASIN360.com, Voltage Digital Marketing, VoltageDM.com, the three company bases that we own that do everything from software sales. We do Amazon e-commerce, clearly, predominantly private label and FBA. We also do coaching and mentorship at multiple levels, from seller and beginner and novice level up until B2B. And then we also do corporate stuff as well, where we manage corporate Amazon accounts. Very fascinating time to be involved in all of those things. We see a lot with that business and all of those business. We have a pretty broad scope as we manage our operations globally here. I am obviously not in a office. I don't have one. Our operations are global. Our team is global. In that way, we're doing pretty good. All of our accounts and stuff are in good standing. Business is doing very well. Our clients are doing good. We've got a couple of unfortunate situations with clients that we're working through right now, where they were in the process of trying to get their private label going. They were doing a number of different seller strategies that we don't particularly like to do. We're not fond of it. We told you why. I'll give you some back history for those of you who are not familiar. Hi, Paul. Welcome to the call. Hey, Sharon and Talar. Welcome to the call. Great to see you guys tonight. We ramped up operations, very large operations, in terms of wholesaling, which is kind of the next step of retail online arbitrage. You kind of go that way, and then you're like, well, I need to get more of this kind of product. So you typically then kind of manage yourself over to wholesale and, get some training or do whatever is necessary to make that happen. So when you go and do those things, you typically kind of get into the wholesale and find yourself getting deeper into that. It's not a model that is truly sustainable. We've talked about that before. I'm just going to reiterate this every Thursday night for those of you who are bored with this concept. Let me just give the new people the spiel, okay? So if you've heard this already, give me a yes in the chat channel. If you've not heard me talk about the types of sellers, methods we use and employ and why we do that, I'm going to make sure I just update everybody. I know a few of you who are on here have heard this before, but I just want to make sure we're all very clear as to what the opportunity really presents itself for Amazon. Again, what we refer to is not picking up dimes to step over dollars. So very clearly, wholesale, retail, online arbitrage can be done within Amazon. You can open an account. You can get it going. If you are unable to keep it within the first 30 days or so, that's a typical kind of problem with Amazon. They like to shut those accounts down, especially if you open them up under a personal name and not a business. Once you get going in that, your whole goal there is obviously to turn product quickly. And the truth is, and no one maybe want to tell you this, and I'll tell you this because I have no problem. It's faster to profit. It really is. It's faster to get profit for products that are not private label, that are wholesale, that are retail arbitrage, that kind of stuff. However, while it is faster, it's kind of the tortoise and the hare, right? What ends up happening is you will run into problems with scale. You'll run into economies of scale that are very difficult. We have personally met that firsthand by raising 10 to 12 people into a 30,000 square foot warehouse, moving 5 wholesale trucks a week, tens of thousands of product every month, and it literally was not profitable. Labor was intensive, aspects were intensive, the management of it was intensive, and all in all, the hamster wheel of profitability, the 80 plus hours a week we were working to make it go, it simply wasn't out producing and out scaling and out creating organic opportunities for the business that the private label brands were doing in the background. And they weren't taking hardly any time to do it. And we had too much time on our hands and we thought, let's try this. And that was a really dumb move. So guys, listen, firsthand experience. If you're going to be doing those kinds of things, number one, you're going to jeopardize your account. It's project transparency, project zero. We don't encourage you to go do that. They will find you. They will find you eventually. They will shut you down. You will find good products to sell, but you can't repeat the process. You're going to keep looking for them. It's very, very manually labor intensive. And wouldn't you just like to make that a lot more simple? Wouldn't it be great to find a good product that just continues to sell, makes you profit, and then you just keep going back and ordering that same product over and over and over again while it's growing, while it's making money, creating less stress, while still growing without having to create 30,000 square feet of warehouse space and hire 12 employees? Who wouldn't want that, right? So that's why we constantly focus on the FBA mechanism. So I'm full of fresh air. I just got back from a hike down into the woods with my family. We went morale hunting and we found some in the hills. It was great. And we just got back from them a little bit ago. So I'm full of fresh air and I'm full of piss and vinegar probably too. So we are going to focus predominantly on private label. We're always talking about that. The tool does help you align quickly with arbitrage-based products. It does support wholesaling in that model and methodology because a lot of you want to get started in that way, and I completely understand. But make no mistake, the sooner you can move a private label product into the market, the longer it will last, the better the longevity will be, the higher your profit margins will be, and the less stress you will have in the long run, and the more profit and money you will ultimately make, okay? So you can gain short-term profits very quickly going those other seller methods, but they will simply be difficult to scale. They're going to be extremely costly in the long run. You're going to put a lot of time and energy and effort into it, and Amazon, frankly, doesn't want to play ball with you. They just don't care. They don't want to be that guy, okay? So that's where you're going to find yourself running into trouble with this, and ultimately, you want to stay away from that. If you want to go long, if you want to go deep, hard, and big in the seller market, and you want to get to the level that we're selling at, the level our clients are selling at, the people like Matt Harwood, the guy I talked to today, David, who's doing 10 million a year, you need to be scaling with private label products. It's the only way to get those kinds of numbers. And so I just want everyone to be very clear, everyone who's brand new to tonight's call, I want to make sure you understand that tonight is not just about the software, it's about the methodologies, it's about selling, it's about product research, it's about sourcing, and it, of course, is learning the mechanisms of becoming a great seller and understanding that there's a support network out there, and there are people like us who are willing to help you when the time comes to help coach and mentor you to get to that kind of success. And I know a couple of you who are on this call today are in that training program, and I hope you're enjoying it. I think you're enjoying it, and hopefully you're learning from it. And obviously, I know a couple of you are getting your sales going and your products going, and everything is moving forward. I know that's what's happening. Love it, Rebecca says. Great, great, great. Okay, so let's move forward with some product research. That's why we're here tonight. We're here to learn about products. We're here to, well, guys, pick my brain. You know how everybody wants to do the brain picking thing, and it's like, gosh, if I could just pick the brain of someone who's doing this, and you message them, and everybody's like, I hate it when you go pick my brain because it's never planned and it's always off guard, and you guys would not believe the amount of messages that I get across my social media and other stuff where people just want to, quote unquote, pick my brain. So I don't love to do that on a lot of one-on-ones. I simply don't have the time to do all that. This is your chance tonight with having purchased the software and being a member of ASIN Inspector and in this free academy and this training and these lives. You can pick my brain. So this is your chance if you wanted to do it. If you want to know what's going on with 7-figure, 8-figure sellers, this is your chance to do it. Tried and true, man. I can tell you, this has never been another time like this. I will tell you point blank with 100% truth staring you into the microphone and the camera tonight. There has never been a better time to get into e-commerce. It is going to absolutely explode. It may not feel like that to a lot of you right now, but there's a fundamental shift that hasn't happened since the internet came online. And I was talking to David today about that. We were spitballing the possibilities, and he was giving me his insights, and we were sharing a lot of commonalities and what we believe and what we see coming forward. And when you're doing the kind of business we're doing in the circles we're doing, that we've got our finger on the pulse. There's a lot of people, business, and money that's moving around these circles. And because of that, we really want to know what's going on. And that's part of the reason we talk to each other is like, okay, I'm seeing this and this is what I'm thinking, and I'm going at this strategy. And what do you think about that? And I'm like, what do you think about this? And we kind of bounced each other off. It's almost a little bit of a consultation between each other, right? To figure out if we're all going in the right direction. We saw some really good things, and definitely one of them is, stay the course, right? Because even if Amazon makes its change, and it will, to adapt to, the reopening of states and things that are occurring at the time this is being recorded, obviously, for those of you who are watching the replay in the next month or so, this will probably have all changed again because so much is changing. We want to make sure that we are staying true to what we're going to be doing. And, we're going to stay the course. We're going to stay with FBA. We're going to be moving products back in. Amazon has to reopen very soon. You guys are not aware its inventory is within 80% of its normal capacity, meaning it's about to be 30 days outside of almost half of the third-party sellers running out of inventory. Can you imagine what would happen if Amazon's third-party sellers, which makes up 58% of all of its sales, in the next 30 days, they all ran out of inventory? What we're not going to, he's not going to, but we know people that will and are right now. And can you imagine what that's going to do to Amazon? If literally, 40% of that was gone, 35% of that was gone, it would be an astronomical hit, right? So I think that's what they're seeing. And that's why Jeff Bezos is stepping back in right now. It's like, we got to fix this thing and fix it fast. They got to let us put product back in. All the third-party sellers, they've got to just get it fixed, and they're going to have to figure it out like really fast. But of course, in all of that, there's opportunity. So let's talk about opportunity. Opportunity to sell products and get your product into position, get your samples in the market, get them vetted, get your product and brands ready to go, because when it opens up, it's going to come back incredible. All across the nation, it's going to come back incredible. It is looking to be like an amazing time, frankly, coming off of this. So you guys pay attention, because this is going to be fascinating to watch. Very fascinating. Someone's asking, Talar is asking, Neil, do you sell books on Amazon as well? No, won't touch them. Sorry. It's way too saturated, not enough profit. You can't private label those kind. I mean, you can, but they're oversaturated by the publishers. And so we don't touch books of any kind. We don't book flip. We don't do any of that. Why? Again, that's back to you're flipping books. You may be doing it FBA, but you don't own the product, right? If you own the book, that's a totally different thing. If you wrote the book, that's the Kindle publishing side and the publisher side, where you can do the digital and you can do an actual book physical. They'll make a book for you. That's totally different if you're the author. It is not the same if you're trying to sell someone else's books or you're actually flipping those books. At the end of the day, you are no different than the retail arbitrage flippers, the quote unquote drop shippers, then the wholesalers and those kinds of accounts. Even if you're sending it into FBA, you don't own the product. At the end of the day, if you stop working that mechanism, it shuts off. It's done. There's no more. It doesn't continue on. It's not difficult to run an FBA business when it's up and running. It really is like coast on a car, right? That's where you get your best gas mileage. So writing a book, totally different. Writing a book, if you want to get in, do that kind of thing, get the effort. You got to get some established author. We won't go into all that tonight because that's a whole nother side of the house. But the simple answer is no, we don't sell on books, and we don't write books and put them into the market right now. I've got maybe in the future we'll do that as a business. Let's see, question sellers. It seems that there's a lot of issues going on with sellers' help that needs to be bot driven, that sellers aren't getting any help they normally would. Do you think that's a problem with the PL sellers also? It is a little bit, Rebecca, in terms of the support network. It's just a bit overloaded, and certain components of Amazon are disconnected in the way that seller performance looks at things, or you can reach seller performance outside of the normal rep practices, which get you in through the seller central support side. It's a little bit less on the private label side, but it's definitely a problem if you get a false positive. If you're running an account that gets dinged for some reason because the bot shuts you off temporarily, the A9 engine has these other bots and stuff moving around, and if you get a false positive, you're going to run into some trouble right now getting it back online. If you run into a false positive or an account termination, typically you're going to find that you were in violation somewhere. You were in a gray area. You were running one of the other type of seller accounts. If we're branded, if we're private label, if you're running FBA, if you've got your trademarks, if you've got your brand registry, we're just not running into those problems, guys. And I'm trying to help you all understand that as much as possible. Do you think this is something they're absolutely working to correct it, right? Our account reps are really overloaded. We have direct account reps. And that's one of the things I was talking to David with today. He has direct reps into the business that are dedicated to his account, just like we do. And they're running like crazy to maintain things in the background, their overflow as well. Amazon's trying to hire another 75,000 people from the 100 it was trying to hire before. So they're just trying to keep up on things, guys. So that's both what's happening that I know of. That's a little bit of scuttlebutt. And then of course we saw, what's happening in the market right now with Bezos going back to work. Things may be shifting pretty quick. If you got the seller performance or central newsletter that came out earlier, then you should be aware the three major bullet points within that. They paused repayment of all Amazon lending loans until April 30th. They waived 2 weeks of inventory and storage fees. They waived the April 15th long-term storage fees for inventory, so that's going to be helpful. They are obviously trying to beef up support. by doing this thing, fulfillment capabilities and regular operations. They're trying to, ensure us that they aren't going to hurt our accounts. It says to protect your account, ensure these difficulties do not affect your account health. We stop suspension of selling accounts on high order defect, high cancellation, and high shipment rates. These changes will stay in effect until May 15th and will be extended as these are appropriate. Making reliable promises to customers is particularly important in this time. So as I mentioned about a week ago, I think on one of these lives, if you guys were paying attention, I mentioned they're going to have to do something because they simply can't just ding everybody for them not being within their terms of service or their agreement to us as sellers when we signed up and paid for the service. They're out of compliance, and so they've addressed that, which is cool. They're trying to do the things they could do correctly. And as you remember or heard me in this last recording, it was about the fact that they couldn't keep that up for too long, because then in essence they were out of their own compliance. They're not delivering products in 2 days. They're the ones, delaying things. It says, well, it should be here on Tuesday, but it's supposed to show up on May 30th. I don't know how many times, if you guys have seen that, just ordering in the system as an actual customer. It's kind of fascinating because all of their systems have just, carte blanche. Everything is being pushed out 7 to 14 days. And then what ends up happening is you check the app or whatever for your order, and then it shows up like in 4 days, right? So they're really trying to manage customer expectations while still trying to stay ahead of delivery. So I know they're trying to stay on top of it, but it's just a big business. And at the end of the day, they are going to do their best to hold up to this. But at the other component of this business, let's just make sure we understand something. We're riding on their platform. We are. And that means it's their business. And in some ways, they don't care as much as maybe we would like them to care, because again, we don't want to get the emotions. This is a business. So to be very clear, Amazon is the starting block. You do not want to be channel locked for Amazon. Okay, even if you came in from Shopify or another storefront, another, WooCommerce, doesn't really matter. Some other storefront out there, if you were on eBay and now you want to start selling on Amazon, or you started on Amazon and eventually you're going to want to go to another channel, you will need to pull up additional channels, right? You will need to get into other stores. You'll need to get your product into other channels, whether it's eBay or Groupon or Walmart or, your own Shopify store with paid traffic later on. All of your brands and stuff should be multi-channel. Amazon should become eventually just a channel in it, right? Because the Amazon by itself does not make a complete business. And let's just be very clear about that. And I want to make sure this is said out loud for anybody who's listening to this. Just having Amazon sales does not establish 100% of your business, right? It is a starting block. It is the component of your business. And then you got to move to additional channels with those products. You definitely want to move forward, okay? Talar says, I ordered stuff 2 weeks ago and it should get to me in 3 weeks. Yeah, I mean, stuff is like, if it's non-essential items, you're going to find all kinds of funny things happening. Stuff you'll order and they'll come back and say, I'm sorry, we can't deliver this now. We canceled your order because there's no inventory. Like we had that happen the other day, right? So what are the best products to be looking at right now? That's a great segue, GB. Let's go into that. Let's share the screen. Let's go to Amazon. Boop, boop. Let's go to Amazon. Fire up the Amazon. All right. What are the good products we should be considering, guys? It's not rhetorical. Let's actually ask that backwards. Let me ask that back to you. What products do you think that you should be into right now? I'm curious about what you guys think. I know we've had a little bit of talk about this last week, and we can keep into this right now because I really want to hear where your guys' brain is at, and then I'll tell you where mine is, and what we are doing and where we're going. So definitely let's ask that question back in reverse. Where do you guys think you should be? Should you be selling face masks and viral creams? Or what else should you be considering, right? What could be a product that doesn't just work now, but could work in the next 6 months, right? Obviously, this would not be the best time to get into product that, this might be a seasonal type of situation where you might be ordering products and stuff that aren't going to sell now or next month, or this month they would sell great, but next month they're not, simply because, it's a more of a seasonal product. You kind of want to be considering stuff that has to do with what we call, again, evergreen or blue sky. Like it is, has a potential to sell all year long. Okay. That's really important, to consider. So pet We got pet, yeah. Health issues, baby items and outdoor items, recreational DVDs. I'm just reading your list, guys. Soaps cleaning, soap cleaning products. Okay. Anything that will be dealing with the family being at home. Yeah, you know what? That can't go wrong. That couldn't have gone wrong before this whole pandemic thing kicked in, right? Anything to help with family be around the house that supports the family. Because remember, guys, what's the major demographic that you should be looking at for online sales? Not just Amazon, but online sales. What's the major demographic? Yes, women 27 to 35. Why? Anybody? Justify your answer. I know Rebecca knows this because she's learning it firsthand inside of ASIN 360. That's why she's on there. Sharon's on here too. Games, absolutely. Games are fun. Yeah, right? I mean, you guys sort of know this to a degree, but after selling so many kinds of products on Amazon, so many different kinds of products on Amazon, women 27 to 35 do the majority of buying for the household. They are typically of the age where family and growth is important, maybe having first children or even second children. Following them through that lifestyle means getting into brands that they really love, that they're going to be a part of. That's where a lot of the buyer demographic, growth demographic, maturity based buying decisions start to change with life based on accounts that occur, accountability changes when you have a kid, your family, getting married, settling into your first house, right? I mean, all of these things have to do with those life-changing moments. And we all know, quite frankly, that men don't like to shop too much. When we do shop, we like to shop in certain kinds of categories that are very manly. And the ladies know that, and so they don't really go there. Like we order auto parts, and we'll do some outdoor gear, and we'll order some, mechanical stuff. That's what we do. I have a shop full of it. Like I got a 1,500 foot, shop, and most of it is for wood projects and operating and machinery and all kinds of stuff we've got out there that we do with myself and my dad and my father-in-law. Very busy in that shop all the time. But we're not ordering towels. We're not ordering dishes. We're not ordering the food supply. We're not ordering major everyday renewable products that are capable of setting up for things like subscribe and save. Like, this is a really mindset oriented call tonight, folks. I know I want to get into Amazon, but this is a big component of what I do when I strategize with people. And when we talk about businesses and we talk about the strategy of businesses, this is a big component of where I operate in our company. As what I do to lead the company and the marketing and everything else. So that's why you hear me speaking to this. You don't always hear me speaking tactical. Reed's our tactical guy. He's our operational guy. He's the one down at the logistic level, and he would answer things very different. I'm at the drive level, the brand level, the business level, where are we taking this thing? And women 27 plus to 35. Guys, it doesn't matter what you might think about, hey, you know what? I don't really know any products in the women to 27 to 35 range. It doesn't matter. We were just joking about that today with David. He's like, you know what? I got all these products all over the place. And when he named 3 or 4 of them, of course, I won't tell you what they were. They were all geared towards, women, right? So we want to make sure that we align with products that fit that demographic, because there are millions of them. You can go into all kinds of niches, and guess what? That's where they're all buying the products, right? I mean, I don't have to show you any farther than my account, which is literally setting here since 2012. Who's doing the kind of ordering in my account? Okay, I'm going to show you guys into my life for a second. I probably shouldn't do this because this is going to be maybe embarrassing. But we're doing some weed cover stuff for our garden. So Katie was like, this is the best price. I'm going to order this for our garden. I didn't order that. I did order this, but look, it's a tool. Guys, this is a really cool tool, by the way. It's a contour gauge. This thing was awesome. I found this. I'm actually looking at sourcing it, quite honestly. So this thing is really cool. And for the guys on here, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about, right? This thing for $9.98, which is way too low to sell. I was actually looking and considering some bundle options. But this thing is going to be great. I got some woodworking projects I'm doing for outside for the garden. I just built a double bin compost thing, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm not going to show it to you because I don't want to brag, because I don't want to be arrogant, but it's a really fun project. We just got it done. Double bin compost built out of 2x6s and 2x4s. And what I needed that was one of these to do it. Another product my dad and I are working on for his garden. He's building a 4 foot by 6 foot raised bed for him and mom, so they can kind of get into a little bit of be 1 foot deep. And so we're going to need a cut on the corner for where the bottom half is going to go in. And I'm like, I need one of these things. So I came on Amazon, did some research. Here's that product. I bought a tool. That's the guy thing. That was the whole point of that conversation. So we got like animal stickers coming in. You know, we got shampoo. We got, my wife found this stuff. She absolutely loves it. It's the non-dairy coffee creamer cocoa powder stuff that goes in your coffee. She loves this stuff. You know, kids' toys, Jif peanut butter. I didn't do any of this. Okay. My wife is in this demographic. Here's coffee, shampoo. Like, go through your own list and source. This is like, you know, online Amazon, urban Amazon person hacking sourcing. I mean, there's coffee filters, there's post-it blank notes in here, or this thing. What is this? I don't even know what this is. Oh, a brush dog undercoat rake mat. So there's pet, Sharon, there's a pet product. Somebody mentioned, was that you that mentioned pet? Well, look, here's a pet product. How much are they? $11.99, too low. Probably like, yeah, it's $2.20. Definitely don't want to source that. But could it be bundled? Could you put it together with another product? Could you build a little pet package, right? That maybe has, you know, a dog bundled together and make that like a $40 deal with the, like, has like $20 or so in profit in it. Yeah, you could absolutely do that. Never underestimate the power of bundling, right? Single products, cool. Bundling, better. Like, here's one. What do they got? Is that a pet? Look at this. They got a little pet thing, a comb and a flying hair, and it comes with a perfect gift pet. What the heck is that? I can't even read that. Oh, pet tag, right? Comes with a pet tag. Check that out, right? So I just found that other product that my wife bought, and this one comes with a pet collar. And so look, we're getting closer to profit. It's almost green, right? They're doing 16,000 at 886. Okay, get your cost of goods down. Boom, $30, $10 in profit. You found yourself a product. It's a component. All they did was just create a better product, a difference, a point of difference. What's the point of difference, folks? What's the point of difference? Can anybody see it? Anybody? Bueller? Why would we not sell this product versus this product? We're live. We're sourcing live. We're analyzing products live. Anybody? Not just because I had it at 30%, but because I could get it relatively close. It's branded. Its point of difference is it comes with a pet tag. How complicated is that? This one has no pet tag. Okay, for $11.99. This one's $24.95. Okay, but look, it's the same stinking product. This is $11.99 retail. This is $24.95 retail. It has a pet tag. Do you see the point of difference? That's kind of the best example I could give you, guys. I'm done for this evening. Please take that. I'm out of here. Peace. Love to you all. Have a great evening. If in all seriousness, if you don't understand this concept right here, then I can't show you anything else about what we're going to talk about tonight or tomorrow night or next week or next week. Like, here is a perfect example of two of these. And we just happened upon it, right? $2.20 in profit on this product at 35% cost of goods. This seller who picked this product, all right, and got it in rakes, all right, they're in rakes too, but they have the first node BSR over here. And these guys are 15, the difference between 15 and 1. Do you see the difference between 15 and 1? Their gross profit right at 10. If we get the 30% cost of goods, okay, if we take it back to 35, where it defaulted, they're at 886. It's really close, okay, they're at 16,000. And over here, you know, they're making $275. And these guys are making $275, and we just gave them $11.95 of it. Katie should have bought this one. Makes all the difference in the world. The images are better, okay? The product is better. There's a point of difference between these two listings, and it's the same freaking product, guys. Like, literally, okay. This is so fun. I love doing this, in case you can't tell. So branded, packaged together. Somebody's asking, Neil, back to the workshop, how much success have you had competing with Harbor Freight Tools? I don't have to compete with Harbor Freight Tools. I just buy their products. So let's go over here to Alibaba, and let's just see what happens when we do this. Oh, look, an image search. And image search is not showing the exact same product. Let's see if we can kind of maybe narrow it down here. Yeah, okay, we're getting closer. A little bit of a difference, and we're getting callers all of a sudden. It's not wanting to do a good job at that image search, is it? Maybe we can choose a different product image. Yeah, we're not even finding exactly the same one on that, are we? So let's go with a two-sided undercoat rake. That's the fun with this sometimes. We don't get 100% into it. Two-sided undercoat rake. There it is. Okay, so right out of the gate, and of course we're looking at China. Somebody brought this up the other day, and we got to bring this back. So yeah, that's China, but look, there's even suggested United States sellers. Oh, look, you can get one from the United States. Check this out. This one is also from the United States. $279 for 1,000 pieces. Okay, what did our fulfillment cost of goods need to be to compete with this product? $8.73. Bada boom. All right, so let's look and see how close to the other product this one is. Pretty darn close. As a matter of fact, it's really close. Really close. They got two-sided. This is probably two-sided too. I can't quite tell it. Ready to ship, United States, folks. Okay, people are like, I can't source from the United States. Yeah, you can, actually. We're doing it right now, live. Okay, so yeah, that's a double-sided green one. Okay, cool. They only got it in green, but that doesn't mean they can't, fabricate a mold for a different color. It just means their primary seller is green, which doesn't necessarily matter, right? This is a blue one. You could just as easily sell a green one and find out how it sells. Let's look and see what we got here in terms of competition. Blue, people like blue. Maybe green one might not be the best color, but hey, you know what? We can work with this. The whole point was to show you guys that, look, we can find it in the United States, right? There is the United States. So let's go out of the United States just out of curiosity, because you saw that was $279. That was the whole point of looking at, guys. So if we come back here and we take our cost of goods down to $279, all right, before we've added on, okay, we're at $14.80 in profit, right? Okay, now we're over the target. So we would have to then take this product and say, okay, look, point of difference, really nice packaging. Okay, we can do that. That's not a big deal. Packaging isn't terribly difficult. You got the cute little puppies and a cat, very smart. You got the, pet owner, pet tag. All right, so we're gonna combine. Let's see, this one was in the United States, 200, 1,000 pieces. We can even do, lower pieces. We could do a sample market of 200 to 499 pieces for $443. Okay, $443. Let's go back over here. All right, we're still at $13 in profit. Not bad at all. Still above the $10 threshold. Okay, so we can get a couple hundred pieces. Test this out, a couple hundred pieces. Guys, follow along with what I'm doing here. Everybody still understand what's happening? We're in the United States. We're shipping from the United States. We're getting it from the United States. Lead time 15 days, 5 days. I'm sure we can fix that by just changing some of the, they only have one. That's okay. So we're looking at the same products. Let's go down here real quick, just see what China has to say. 285, 280, not a big difference, not a big difference. Here's the different kinds. Here's the really close blue one. Actually, you can get 2-piece minimum order. Check that out. I wouldn't go after 2 pieces if you were going to do this. It's just way too small of an order to really figure out if you're going to make this thing move. Look, this one even has a nice kind of packaging on it. We got the blue ones. We got the pink ones and the blue ones. That one caught my attention because I'm thinking pink and blue, right? That's cool. 80% response rate, a 1-year-old seller. Okay, not bad. Pink and blue. What else are we seeing, guys? You guys can do this along in the background if you want to. If you got your tools open, go in there, check it out. All I'm wanting you to do is go through the exercise. Are we going to necessarily sell this product? No, I'm wanting you to hear me, see this, and learn how this can go out, right? And how you can actually source it and figure this out, because we're doing it right now, right? So ready to ship 2 to 3. So you can get 100 pieces off of this guy. 9-year trade assurance company. They got a really low response rate, though. I don't really like that response rate. That's way too low. 67%. Let's go down. 68, 94%. 6 years, verified seller, 4.5 stars, blue and pink. Okay, you can get, 100. Look, they even got the product video. Very cool. So you can get 100 to 500 pieces in 15 days, basically the same amount of time. Check that out. $3. You can get 500 to 1,990 pieces for $270. So there you go, folks. $3 to $270. I'm at $443. So let's say I could get that for $3. Okay, now we're at $14.82. So what are we going to do at this point? Obviously, we know that this is just the tool itself. What will we do next? Anybody? We could go do what? The dog tags, right? We can bundle. We could make a different kind of dog tag. We could throw in a dog and a cat tag, right? So let's look at tags for animals. Animals, no, it's animal tags. What should I search for? Animal tags. Let's just try that. Animal tags, plastic tags. Let's try pet. Getting too far off in the line here. We're going to go after this brain. Okay, so there we go. We're getting some pet tags. Oh, cool. You got different colors, sizes. Look, this has a QR code. That's a bit of a point of difference, isn't it? Here's one that's positively safe pet finder with the QR code on the back. That's cool. Oh, look, this one even has a little vegan leather pet dog bark collar. Okay, that's clever. The whole point I'm looking for right now is there a point of difference that I could literally borrow this from, guys, and just say, look, is there, I know this sells, I know it's selling well. If I could come in, number 2 on this, okay, there's a possibility, for making $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 a month, just being the second seller of a product like this with a product that has a bit of a point of difference, right? Here's a color rainbow one. Here's a different kind. This is a little one. So what I would do at this point, guys, if this was me sourcing through this concept, I would look through and kind of say, okay, what's interesting to me? I've got kind of pets, but then I would actually go over and do a little bit more due diligence on the back end of this. Like I would come over here and in pet supplies, we're looking at grooming or dogs or pet supplies. We'd actually come in here and start looking for like pet tags, right? We'd be looking to see, okay, who's selling the bestseller pet tags? Okay, these kinds. All right. Here's a custom tag. Okay, we wouldn't want to do custom per se. These are just these tags, right? I mean, they just have one, right? I mean, pretty clever. It's for any animal. It's a paw print. So we're going to look and say, okay, is there something in here I could bundle together that doesn't necessarily require customization? You guys follow where I'm going? Okay, here's a lucky flower pet. That's not really selling all that great, but we are kind of just looking through the market and doing some due diligence, okay? I would keep going through this, but what I would be looking for in this way is a bundle that doesn't necessarily require customization. So let's go to, we got cat tags, dog tags, cat collars, accessories, basic dog collars, small animals. Yeah, we can kind of dig into this a little bit differently. You could angle it towards the dog if you wanted. Here's just ID tags at its lowest level. Custom engraving again, more custom engraving. Here's one again with just a paw print. So what if I could just get one with a paw print like this? It didn't really have necessarily anything on the back end. It's a little bit like that one, only it's a little bit nicer. It's got a little bit more depth into it. Maybe we could source something like that. Well, so let's say hypothetically, we find a product addition, something cool to be bundled with our grooming tool. And that estimated addition, okay, maybe this one. I'm just picking something random. Okay, this one's got a ton of different colors. So we're looking at a product that roughly has got to cost about $348. Why are we looking at that? Okay, so we knew this was going to cost us $3. So let's say it costs us another $4. So our total cost of goods for the 2 products, I'm just estimating this at the calc level, is going to be like that, right? A leash and a collar, a dog and a collar, some sort of point of difference is really what we're going after. But we don't want to go too far away from this one. We want to find something a little different. So instead of pat your pet, this is the analogy that we've done on our training before, guys. This was the difference between like a seat pet and a belt buddies. Like we had the belt buddies and the other guys had the seat pets. Well, this is kind of like a seat pet, okay? Come in with a belt buddy. So they got to pat your pet. So maybe you've got a rat your pet. Okay, that was really bad. I'm really bad at making up names. I would leave that to Reed. But you can see where, the opportunity is literally to just create a differentiator, a point of difference, and go right into the same one. Find a blue one if you can. Find another, maybe slightly different point of difference with the dog tag or the kind of tag that would be on it. Okay. And then give yourself an opportunity, right? To get into the market with a known product like this. Obviously sells. There's more than one of these kind of products out there. We know they're selling. Okay. It doesn't appear to be very saturated per se. These are dematting tools and rakes. So let's just go up to the macro level real quick. All right, so this is where the rubber meets the road. That's why I wanted to take us back up here. So you saw me go down here. You saw my due diligence. You found that I could even get a US-based supplier because people argue, well, is it just China? Can we argue? Can we get it from the US? Well, yeah, absolutely. We just proved tonight you can get it from the US. A product, if you go in, filter differently and take a look, you can get products from the US. So for anybody who says you can't, that's actually not the truth. You can actually even go in, here's the United States, and you could look for any kind of brushes filtered by the United States. You can filter by many other places, Mexico, China, India, and all kinds of stuff. You just got to go to the supplier region, look at the different locations where they're coming from. Turns out you can even get some of these from the United Kingdom, it looks like, whatever that is. Let's clear all the filters out here. So you can go in and search different locations. And that's important for you to understand. I wanted you to get that. Also, how quickly we went into kind of diversifying this. I wanted you to see that too. And we could see how fast we could get in relatively cheap to some of these kinds of products while still making a decent profit margin and getting in the market, right? So there's a little bit of saturation in this. I mean, I'm just looking at hot releases, recommended, most gifted, the best sellers. Let's just poke along here for a second. Bestseller, these are a little different. This one's got more of a handle on it. It's got a little bit of higher affinity. Price points are not terribly great, although, this one right here, two-sided professional grooming, they're charging $29.99 for that one. Okay, whereas this one's only charging $10.70. We're just kind of playing around with this niche just a little bit, and we're talking it out tonight, guys. You could put in some differentiators. There's our bestseller here, Dog and Brush at $24.99, $39.99 for this one. This one's got an undercoating, grooming for dogs, stainless steel, the wooden handle, made in Germany, 30 blades. So they went after a little bit of a higher affinity on this one, obviously, with the $39.95. And this particular listing sucks. It just sucks. There's no other images. Look, they don't even have any dogs. They just tossed this thing up. And for it, they're paying a price, right? $4.29 on this particular version. One of these, might sell better than the one we just clicked on. Data's not even pulling back from that. But yeah, that one actually just kind of sucks. They weren't really trying too hard, guys. You get an opportunity with that. Obviously, they're going to run out of stock soon. So a little bit of a saturated niche for this particular kind of product, but obviously pets and stuff is a fantastic place to go in. So all of that said, we're actually getting close to the end of the hour. That's how fast this stuff goes. You saw the two different things we went after. You saw the two different products. You saw how immediately I found one product and another product with a different point of difference and a better branded product was able to be discovered literally from my own shopping list. I like them apples, literally out of my own shopping list tonight. So I don't know what thoughtful due diligence my wife would have done to get to this point, but of course she is very considerate of animals, so she decided that this is the one that made the most sense to her, and I'm pretty confident it wasn't on just the price. It could have been that really cute cat sold her over with the good pictures. But really, you saw how we went in. We went lateral. We looked at the products. We saw which ones were selling, which ones had the opportunity. And of course, we looked into the profit of those two. We identified very quickly, why is this one not selling better than the other one, right? We saw this one selling at $24. It's moving a lot more product. It has a point of difference. It has a more professional listing. It has better packaging. It's got a better message. And of course, all of these things combined as a better brand are producing much better results. And that's part of the thing I wanted you to show tonight. Obviously, we just stumbled upon it, but there we go. That's a very, very good example. I could literally end the call on this, and I think I will, of what you can do between these two products and how you source these two products backwards. We can obviously find them anywhere. We can look for a point of difference, a leash, a slightly nicer, pet collar type of thing that's going to have something like this on it. Got my attention. It's got a little bit more leather. It looks a little nicer. Willing to pay a little bit more money for a nicer, kind of product. You don't necessarily have to have it carved in the tag. You could just, get it so that it's clean and they can have it carved themselves. And you're looking at 50 pieces between $2.80 and $5 a piece, like a genuine leather dog collar. okay, between $2.80 and $5 a piece. Well, adding that into the brush, that I don't see that. Like, look, I'm not seeing that as a point of difference. There's a potential point of difference. If the product cost makes sense and the profitability can go up, then you might have found yourself a good point of difference. All right, dog tags clearly work. Why wouldn't necessarily a dog collar? No, the dog collar doesn't have to be a custom product per se. I mean, you can set it up to be evergreen, and I wouldn't necessarily try to go for a custom, especially if you're just kind of getting going. Obviously, this can be customized according to, Alibaba, but you could just as easily get it not customized, and they could go get it customized down, at their local vet or whatever, right? That doesn't necessarily, a hey, I can't get it customized, I don't want to buy it moment. There could be people who are going to say that, of course. But that isn't necessarily the case, right? I mean, we're looking over here at this one, and that's not a customizable dog tag, right? That I could tell. Maybe it is, and I just didn't go deep enough. But you can also set that up on your listing if you wanted to set that up. It's a little more advanced, but it's doable. What you're going to look at is something that, I can add additional value that is more evergreen and not necessarily customized. So, here's a brand comb match for this one. They've got this matching brush, matching comb kind of setup, right? That doesn't require customization. Definitely a point of difference on that versus the other. But, it's not such a point of difference. It adds a high enough level of value for them to get above, $20 to get. And honestly, $24.95 would be like the absolutely, bare minimum for these kinds of products. And that's going to be right at the very top end of that. And, you're going to see, unless you try to go after something like this, you're not going to get into the price points where the real potential profit is going to lie on a lot of these products. Even this one, has decent profit, even more than the other at $18. But this particular, this may even be an opportunity. Look at this thing. It's not it's not really necessarily a bad product. They got a horrible listing. They've just gone in and said, we're just going to list every variation of this product we can in a parent-child relationship. They did the least amount of work possible on the listing, on the original, right? These are really crappy listings. What is that? It's upside down. They got their logo upside down. Really? Come on, people. There's so much opportunity, folks. Like, just even this one, like $42.95. It's got $18.68. This is a horrible listing. And they're still in their node at 112. And at 103, that's right in line with a product target range to come in and take the opportunity for this. They're not making any money because they really didn't take much effort. 115 in pet supplies, 112 in grooming rakes. Obviously, there's interest in it. Looks like somebody took the hind part of their dog off using it. That's not a good thing. Or is that light? I can't really tell. At first, it looked like that poor dog had just suffered. Impressed me enough to merit my first product. Okay, so that's good. The dog is not suffering. Everyone calm down. The dog is okay. They didn't take the hair off its butt. All right, but actually this one's getting decent. It's been around for quite a long time. This is just literally waiting here to be taken over. A good listing with a quality product with good images and $42.99 and actually your logo on the right way, showing this thing could be done. There's profit in this product. And there's definitely, as we've already seen tonight, opportunity in this market to go a little bit higher with a little bit better product and do it up a little bit differently. So, those are a couple of different product options to just play around with and come back and see if you can bundle, create some opportunity, look for your point of difference in the product. And of course, look for that profit that makes sense. This does not make sense. Even if you got your down to 30, if you could get it down to 30, you're still at 720, you're going to lose. You're going to lose. All right. It is not going to be profitable. I mean, and even this is a better listing at the end of the day, you're just going to be moving units and not really getting a lot of profit. And you're going to, die a horrible death. I would go after a product like this first. And knowing that this could sell with 1,000 ratings at $42.99, this would be my first target at $18.64 in profit, $18.68 in profit. So if I can get my manufacturing down a couple points, I'm down to almost $20 in profit, playing with my manufacturing numbers a bit, putting a better quality product online, and then coming in like gangbusters to own this market, and then just kind of dominating it, right? There are other product opportunities. This one is obviously validated. This is at 20. But the point of difference is to create a better product at a higher price point. And you think, I can't sell that. This is $42.95. The other guys are selling it for $29. Well, guess what? You can sell this product. The only reason this thing is still freaking sitting here It's because it's been around. Where did that other review come in? Like 2015? This thing's been out here for a long time, man. This thing is ripe for the taking. Sharon, you paying attention to this? Hope you're paying attention to this. Still with me? Because this one was what you brought up, right? Talked about a bunch of other products, pet issues and stuff. Yes, cool. All right. Guys, this has been fun. I'm going to call it because it's 5. Well, it's almost 5 till the mid hour. One more question. Any other questions? Let's bump it in there. I want you guys, like you heard my thought process. It may sound a little bit disjointed to you. Hopefully it wasn't. I really wanted you to understand the major components. As always, profit in the product, point of difference, the product opportunity. You saw how we literally just went lateral, up, down, across, through the products. We didn't just angle or stay hardcore. We're not married to any one of these products in terms of what we can do. What we're really looking for is the product that could come in and say, you know what, it's got a difference, it's got opportunity, it could be made original, it could change up a little bit. It's got a listing that could be taken over in terms of its, a product in the market that's clearly selling. But obviously, it's not making a huge point of difference in the market. And we're also noticing that there are other products like it, although we could really make a difference in it in terms of that product, and making a nice little product that kind of hangs out, makes us $3, $4, $5, $10, $15,000 a month. And we get into that market and we create opportunity and keep going. Look at this one. Okay. So, I mean, we're just proving the competition is here. We just need to get our point of difference and get our better products in place. And that opportunity is setting there. I mean, this guy's at $39.89, but he's eating it on the profit. So he can't market it any more than he should be able to compared to this market. And that's why you're not seeing him at a higher price point, as well as a higher profitability. He's eating it on this listing. He could be charging $30 or more, as we just saw, but he's not, because clearly they are not marketing this product on Amazon the right way. So guys, that's just all. It screams opportunity. I hope you see that. It screams opportunity. This is just one little part of the pet niche we just literally ran into today, as you saw, straight out of my own shopping list. Guys, you can go do the same thing, okay? Go play with your lists. Look at the products of everything you just bought or have bought in the last 3 or 4 months, and then go in and start doing some product research. Why? Because if you bought it, it's someone else's brand. Why couldn't it be your brand? Why couldn't you go in and sell it for profit? That's the whole point. All right, everybody, has been great. Thanks for sticking around tonight. This has been fun. I'll get the replay up later. Nick will send it out once it is put into the Academy. And I hope you have a really good evening. Be safe out there. Take care, everybody. And come back next Thursday and let's be talking about this some more. There'll be a lot going on, I'm sure, in the next week as things change so dramatically right now. Be blessed. Talk to you all later. Bye.